President Tinubu right now is moving strong, and the latest gist everybody is talking about is how Sheikh Ahmad Gumi was stopped in Saudi Arabia during Hajj and deported back. This matter shook Nigeria because Gumi is not a small person in the north. He is a well-known Islamic scholar in Kaduna, and he has always been in the middle of controversial conversations, especially about insecurity, kidnappings, and negotiations with bandits. Now imagine this same man entering Saudi, and they said, no, you cannot stay here, you must go back. Immediately, Nigerians began to connect it with his politics, his statements, and his reputation. Viewers, what do you think? Is it fair for another country to send him back like that? Or is it simply about his own record? Please like this video and subscribe if you're following the gist, because this one is hot. Now, while this was happening, President Tinubu is being portrayed as shaking up the so-called northern cabals. You know that word? Cabal. It means those powerful networks, those who pull strings behind the scenes, political elders, business elites, the ones who benefit from the old way of doing things. People are saying Tinubu is now breaking that stronghold. He is destroying their influence. And how? By targeting sensitive areas like the national census, the military structure, and even economic reforms that reduce their control. So you see how everything is connecting. Gumi facing trouble abroad, northern power brokers losing ground at home, and Tinubu making big moves. My people, do you think this is bold leadership or dangerous power play? Don't forget, like this video and subscribe right now because we need more people to join this conversation. Let's take Census, for example. Census in Nigeria is never a small matter. Why? Because population figures decide how many representatives a region gets, how much money goes into state allocations, and the weight of each region politically. For the North, census is like oxygen because the population strength has always been the bargaining chip. Now imagine Tinubu restructuring census methods, putting new leadership, or changing how the data is collected. Northern groups have already raised alarm. They said, government should be fair. They said the process must not be manipulated. But still, there is fear that reforms will weaken their numbers. So the talk is that Tinubu is targeting the base of the northern elite's influence. Question for you watching. Do you believe Nigeria can ever have a fair and trusted census? Drop your answers in the comments, and please like this video and subscribe, because we are going deeper. On the military side, the story is equally heavy. Security in Nigeria is still shaky, especially in the north with rural violence, kidnappings, and banditry. When government talks about restructuring the military, it can mean many things. Changing the service chiefs, redeploying troops, shifting resources, or reducing the hold of those who had loyal networks in the security system. Some people believe Tinubu is cleaning house to put his own trusted men. Others say it's a real reform attempt to make the military more effective. But the reality is this: without real improvement in the safety of villagers, travelers, and farmers, ordinary Nigerians will not feel these changes. So when you hear destroying cabals in the military, ask yourself, is it helping citizens or is it just politics? And once again, my people, like this video and subscribe because more gist is coming. Now let's connect Sheikh Gumi back into the story. Gumi has been known as somebody who says government should negotiate with bandits. He goes into the forest, he meets with them, and he brings his messages to the public. Some Nigerians saw him as a mediator, others saw him as an enabler. For Saudi Arabia to deport him, it sends a kind of signal. International partners may be watching Nigeria's security conversation too, and maybe they are not comfortable with his style. Back home, it weakens his standing and the confidence of his followers. And when you link this with Tinubu allegedly shaking up the north, it almost looks like northern influence is being squeezed from both inside and outside. What do you think? Type YES if you think Gumi still matters. Type NO if you think his time is over. Please like this video and subscribe too. We need your voice. The economy is another layer. Tinubu's removal of fuel subsidy, his currency reforms, and his fiscal policies have affected everybody. People are struggling, markets are shaking, and inflation is biting. But one side of the gist is that these same reforms reduce the cash flow that old power networks, including northern cabals, used to enjoy. For example, fuel subsidy used to be a major channel of influence. People made billions from it. Removing it may be painful for citizens, but it has also cut off a major lifeline for elites. Number 3, keep speaking out. If citizens don't pressure government, these things will die quietly. Pause again and please hit the like button, share this video with friends, and subscribe to the channel. We are building a strong family that follows the truth. So the question is this: when the names come out, what will happen next? We may see resignations, we may see arrests, we may see court drama. Some names may shock the nation, some may confirm what people already suspected. But one thing is clear. If this government is serious, this list can change the game in the fight against terrorism. If they are not serious, it will just be another headline. And that is why I am telling you, stay tuned, because this story is not ending today. Tinubu is under watch. Nigerians are alert. The world is alert. Anytime the names drop, the whole conversation will explode. Another angle to this gist is the risk that comes when sponsors are revealed. Think of it. Some of these sponsors may have serious political weight. Some may even be connected to leaders that ordinary Nigerians respect or fear. If the names come out, the reaction may not be small. There could be shock, arguments, even division in the country. Some people will say, finally government is serious, while others will say, no, this is witch hunt. So expect noise when the names appear. At the same time, we must not forget that exposing terrorist financiers can also bring hope. Nigerians are tired of insecurity. From the north, where banditry is holding villages hostage, to the south, where kidnappings disturb highways, people just want peace. If Tinubu can show that he is cutting off the head of the snake, confidence in government will rise. Citizens will say, at last, those who are hiding in shadows, supplying weapons and paying ransoms are being brought into the light. As I continue this gist, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel right now. That's how you will stay updated as the story develops. Now let's look at how this list, when released, will affect the banks. Because for money to move, banks or bureau de change operators are often involved. In the past, there were reports that many accounts were frozen because they were linked to terrorism financing. If the government comes out tomorrow and says, these are the financiers, banks will quickly distance themselves from those names. Some accounts will be blocked instantly, and banks will be forced to tighten their monitoring. That will cause ripple effects in the financial sector, but it will also make money movement harder for criminals. Let's also look at ordinary citizens. Some people might suddenly realize that someone they know, maybe a neighbor, maybe a business associate, is on the list. Imagine the shock of seeing that. It will create fear, but also it will serve as a warning to others that terrorism is not a safe investment. This is why exposing names is powerful, not only in court, but in society. It sends a clear message. The days of hiding behind the bush boys are over. Please, as you're following, make sure you like this video and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and it helps us reach more Nigerians with the truth. Now, let's not forget the role of international partners. When the US or UK hear that Nigeria has exposed financiers, they will also take steps. They can block accounts abroad, they can ban travel, they can seize assets. That will choke the network completely. And once the money dries up, the terrorists in the bush will find it harder to buy weapons, harder to pay informants, harder to recruit. So this step can change the entire security game, not just in Nigeria, but across West Africa. But here is another angle. If the government delays too much, Nigerians may lose patience. Already, many are saying, we have heard this story before, but no names came out. trust is fragile. People want action, not only talk. So Tinubu must balance strategy with speed. If he waits too long, the gist will turn into frustration. And again, I want to remind you, please like this video and subscribe. Don't just watch and go. Support this work so we can keep bringing you updates in real time. Now, think about what will happen if fake lists start circulating. Already, people on social media like to forward WhatsApp messages that are not true. Some may publish random names and say, "This is the list." That can cause confusion, even violence. This is why I tell you, always confirm from official sources like State House announcements or respected national newspapers. Don't just believe anything you see online.